Hello everyone, welcome to CivilPrep. So this is an PYQPrep initiative by CivilPrep with respect to geography optional PYQ questions. Okay, so the question which we have here today, this is with suitable examples, explain the factors causing sea level changes. This is of 10 marks and this question appeared in PYQ 2024 for paper 1 geography optional. Okay, so to begin with the question, I would like to first show you something where we can see that how there was a change in the ice age or Pleistocene ice age during the last 135 years or 135,000 years. So here we can see that the region of North Arctic, where the European region, the North American region, the Arctic Ocean region, it had went to the various changes in the glaciers. Here we can see the region of North Africa and the Western Africa, also the Middle East region. Here we see that there is rise and fall on sea level is taking place. So this is the question which we need to address here. So this is the part where we'll be referring to the sea level changes. It is the variation in average position of the ocean surface of the ocean or sea surface relative to the land. Okay, so this is the major aspect here. Now what we can see here that the sea level changes, it can be understood from two perspectives. Number one, it is eustatic changes or eustatic sea level changes. Here, the rise of sea level as well as the fall of sea level can occur here. Similarly, we have isostatic changes. Under the isostatic sea level changes, again we have rise in sea level as well as fall in sea level. Okay, so this process will be seeing that of the sea level changes, it is a natural process which have occurred multiple times. For example, the glacial and interglacial periods. Under this, we'll be seeing that this have occurred under the numerous Pleistocene ice age, which recently ended around 13,500 years ago from now. So this is one of the example of sea level changes. But what we see in the contemporary time, because of anthropogenic activities, which have resulted in global warming and this is also resulting into the sea level changes. So this is the basic part. This is the basic aspect where we can see that the sea level changes, what it is, the types of sea level changes, which we are seeing in the contemporary time, which have occurred in the past in the natural way, that is isostatic and eustatic, and nextly the anthropogenic causes, that is the global warming and sea level change. Okay, here we can see a map of world. Okay, this map is of almost around 20,000 years ago from now. So here we can see certain regions like this is Europe and Siberia. This is the region of North America. And here we can see the region of South America. And we can also see here the Antarctic region. Where we see that the presence of ice on the land as well as on the sea is very high. So during this phase, when the ice it was present on land, so this has resulted in the fall of sea level, and this place took place in the at the global scale. Therefore, it is also called as eustatic change. Okay, here we have numerous examples. For example, Norway. Then here we have Hudson Bay. Okay, the region of Canada, etc. Here also we see that the region of Tibet, Tibet and Himalayas is also covered under completely the ice. Okay, so this is an example where we can see that the eustatic changes has taken place over the global level, where the fall of sea level has taken place. Okay, so this is first example. Now moving forward, looking at the same aspect here, the glacial and the interglacial conditions, that is the eustatic changes here. So under this part, what will be seeing that here, there is formation of ice has taken place over the land, due to which the land it has subsided, and this has resulted into the isostatic change or isostatic subsidence of land. But in the same diagram, we can see here that now the ice have completely melted. This ice have completely melted. So during the formation of ice, we'll be seeing that the sea level fall has taken place. But at the same time, when the ice has melted from this point, there is isostatic uplift. Along with this, we'll be seeing that there is rise in sea level. Okay, so here we see that not only the rise in sea level, but also the land which is present here, there a bulge has been formed. Okay, there a bulge have been formed because of this rise in the bulge here. Okay, so this is the first part where we see that this has resulted into the during the Pleistocene ice age. Okay, so here we see that the last glacial maximum, it had occurred almost around 18,000 years ago, where we see the sea level, it was 120 meters approximately lower than contemporary sea level. This is a very big data. Okay, this is a very big data which is providing us the data on the 120 meters here. This data it was given by glacial theory by Louis Agassiz. So Louis Agassiz is the person who has given this glacial melting theory. Okay. Now, after this, we'll be seeing that there is another aspect here with respect to thermal-eustasy. Now, under the thermal-eustasy, what we'll be seeing that when the temperature of sea it rises. So, because of the rise in temperature of sea, number one thing, there will be glacial melting. Okay, so this will result into the rise of sea level. Apart from this, there will be expansion of water because as the temperature rises, the water expands. So because of this expansion, this has resulted into the further rise of sea level. For example, we can see one of the report which is provided by IPCC where 3 to 4 millimeter per year rise in sea level is recorded in the recent decades just because of the rise in temperature of the sea level. Okay. Next here we comes with respect to the isostatic changes. So for the isostatic changes, the first part which we'll be discussing here, that is the mental dynamics. Okay, we'll be discussing here the mental dynamics. Now under the mental dynamics, what we can see, here we can see a region where the magma is present and it is upwelling. Because of the upwelling, there is rise in the land, or we can say upliftment. Apart from this, what we'll be seeing here, that the magma which is present in this chamber, it has gone cold. So because of this, what happens? There is downwelling of magma is taking place. Also, there is translocation of magma in this horizontal direction. The translocation of magma is taking place in horizontal direction, because of which we see that there is a gap being created, and because of this gap there is subsidence of land. Okay, and here we see that there is also again isostatic adjustment is taking place in both the cases. The isostatic adjustment is taking place. Because of this, what we see that where the upliftment is taking place, there is rise of land, and secondly, where the subsidence is taking place, there is fall of land. Okay, so this is the mental dynamics which is taking place because of the movement or displacement of magma. Okay, in the next topic, you will be seeing that the sedimentary distribution. Under the sedimentary distribution, we'll be seeing that here we see that there is a uplifted region. Here we see that there is an uplifted region, and because of this upliftment, what we see here that there is erosion is taking place, and because of this erosion, there is deposition of sediments. because of the deposition of sediments, the weight of this region it is increasing, and this is resulting into the isostatic adjustment, because of which there is subsidence of land. So this is first part. Now, after certain millions of years, what we see here that this region it has eroded. So because of the erosion in this region, there is again isostatic adjustment, and it is resulting into the upliftment of the region, while the sediment has already deposited in this region, and this has resulted into the further subsidence. Okay, so here the subsidence has taken place, and here the upliftment has taken place here. So this is the second example where we see that under the sedimentation process, where the upliftment is taking place, here isostatic adjustment is also taking place. Okay, now this is the point where the erosion is taking place. Now, in the second point, we have subsidence of land, which is also resulting because of the isostatic adjustment. And here, the point, it is happening because of deposition of sediments. Okay, it is happening because of the deposition of sediments here. So because of this, what we see that there is a sea level rise and sea level fall is taking place in this region. So here we see that decrease in the relative sea level is taking place here. So under this first process, there is decline in sea level, while in the second process, we'll be seeing there is rise in sea level. Okay. After this, we have the third part, that is the tectonic uplift and subsidence. This is also a tech, not tectonic, it is a isostatic change. Here we'll be seeing that there is an oceanic plate which is getting subducted under the continental plate. Okay, so here we see that because of the subduction, at certain point of time there is locking is taking place, and because of which the continental plate it is colliding here, and due to which there is we can say a break in the movement of the continent, and there is accumulation of the material, the rock is taking place, because of which we see that there is rise of land or upliftment. Okay, here we can see there is upliftment is taking place here. Consequently, what we will be seeing here in the next part, when there is movement of the oceanic plate, it is taking place at a higher pace. And at a point, if there is certain earthquake is resulting here, so this will result into the fall in the land, resulting into subsidence. So this is also classified under the isostatic changes. Apart from this, we also have, okay, we also have certain anthropogenic factors. So what is happening in this region? There is mining activities with respect to coal, petroleum, natural gas, shale gas, methane hydrates, okay? So from any region, if a certain part of coal, petroleum, natural gas or shale gas is removed, this region it becomes void. And here because of the creation of void, the land it subsides. So because of the subsidence, what happens here? This results into the fall of sea level in that particular region. So here we see that this is also one of the causes, that is the anthropogenic causes resulting into the fall of sea level in certain regions. So this is a local phenomenon. Okay, this is a local phenomenon. Now, there are certain evidences that actually there has been changes in the glaciers over the land and water. Okay, so what we see here that certainly part will be seeing that around millions of years ago, at that point of time, the ocean water, it consisted of O18 isotope. Currently, we see that the majority of isotope which is present in the contemporary time, it is O16 isotope. So this O18 isotope, it underwent the hydrological cycle, that is evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. Either it had been in the form of snow or in the form of water or raindrops. So what we see here that when we explore the glaciers, here we see that the concentration of O18 and O16, where we see that these glaciers within the various layers, there is variations in the O16 raised to O18 composition, which evidence that there was a interglacial cycle period, Pleistocene Ice Age, and there has been formation of glaciers from the water of oceans, which came out of oceans through the process of evaporation, then condensation, then precipitation. So this is one of the evidence which is provided here. Okay, this evidence it can be seen in the region of Antarctica, Greenland, North America, and Siberia. Okay. Apart from this, we have a case study of Hudson Bay. So Hudson Bay, here we see that this is Greenland and this is the Hudson Bay region. So here we'll be seeing that almost around 28,000 years to 18,000 years, there has been continuous formation and extinction of glaciers in Hudson Bay. So because of this, the region, it saw large amount of glacier here, and this was the region. So because of its weight, because of the weight of the glacier, the land which was present here, it subsided. Okay, it subsided here, resulting into the isostatic adjustment. Okay, at the same time, what we'll be seeing that this was the initial sea level. So there was a new sea level where the fall in sea level has taken place. But after the interglacial period, when these complete glaciers they have melted, so here we see that the land which was present here, it started to uplift again. Okay, so because of this upliftment and the water, it went back to the sea. So here we see that this was the sea level and this is the new sea level. So this has resulted into the rise of sea level. Okay, so through this part, we can understand very well that how there has been changes in the sea level, and particularly we see the case study of the Hudson Bay region. Here we see that the rise and fall has contributed from 80 to 120 meters in various other different regions. Okay, so here we see that this is one of the factor where we can understand the glaciers, okay, the tectonic fluids, the sedimentation distribution, the mantle dynamics, okay, which explains very well the formation of the glaciers here. Now, as we try to conclude, the sea level changes is a dynamic process which influences glacial, thermal, isostatic, tectonic, and human-induced factors. Thus, understanding this through models like climate projections, isostatic models, and theories helps us in predicting future trends critical to coastal planning and disaster mitigation because of such rise and fall of sea level. So guys, this was a question. This was an important question because there is a very high trend of question being asked on the sea level changes. So this is a PYQ on sea level change. Guys, if you like this session, do like, do share, and do subscribe. Share it with your friends who are preparing for geography optional. And in case you have any query, you can join our group. Okay, I'll provide the link in the description. You can join our Telegram group where we can have various discussions on mains answer writing. So guys, see you tomorrow. All the best and take care.